Well, hello everyone and welcome to another wonderful Friday evening. And today it's very special. We're going to fly all the way from North America to Europe, and it's going to be Scandinavia. We have a very special guest tonight. Thanks actually to Lady Hawk, who has initiated this. It's all, you remember when David Hancock was talking about the white-tailed eagle? Well, this is where we have an opportunity to go to a very special place in Norway, and we have a special guest too. Svein Junge is his name, and he will join us shortly. Just before he'll join us, I would just like to go through the news section. First of all, thank you again to my wonderful team who keeps us going here. That is Nicole, Suzanne, Jenny, and of course Donna Bella. So you do probably know that we now have nest news every Wednesday and Friday, every Monday and Wednesday. So do come and join us. So there are a lot of hatches going on. The Saucer's nest had a third egg hatched. We already talked about it on Wednesday. There's the Washington DC nest, the Fraser Point first egg. Washington ECC had another hatch. The West End, the trio had their first egg, the Fraser Point, and then the trio had the second egg. And there have also been some broken and not viable, which is part of the, more the sad thing, the unfortunate thing, but that's the way nature is. The Decorah North, I talked to John Howe recently. The egg did break there. Then we had the Dollywood, Arconic, I already mentioned on Wednesday. And then, of course, an update from the Hanover nest in Pennsylvania. The female intruder there consumed contents of eggs there. I think there was a young female that replaced the other one. So there is no viability for the Hanover this year. So the clock starts running again. Duke Farms, one egg broke. And then we also have Mall City. And so thank you for my team for giving these updates. We really have to do a lot of catching up. There is something also to be said here about the Big Bear. You may have heard they've had incredibly harsh weather. First, a lot of snow, and unfortunately one of the chicks there died at the Big Bear, sadly so. But again, that's the way nature goes. Always remember what David Hancock said, the first 3 years are very critical for eagles to survive, and it's quite difficult. Just a quick mention again, thank you for all the patrons who are joining. The support that I'm getting is immense, and I hope they're quite happy with the National Geographic type pictures I'm sending. So if you want to join for just $2 a month, you're doing a big favor in support of SassePhoto. That makes all this possible. All the work that we're putting in, that is quite costly, but it is something that I think is very worth it for educational purposes. So do remember, for $2 you can get a beautiful printout of a National Geographic print every month. And you can go to your local printer, you can use it on the desktop. So that's quite wonderful. Okay, having said that, I'm going to, without further ado, introduce my live guest here. So 1 second, let's get you live. So this is Svein Junge. It's past 1 o'clock. Thank you so much, Svein, for joining us today.
Thank you. It's okay. It's dark outside, you see, but it's light inside. And wow.
It's light. Well, it's very interesting for those viewers who don't know Norway. I myself lived in Sweden, so I do understand some Norwegian. So if there's so that is actually very nice. But you have to appreciate that actually Spain is living very fast north. It's past 60 degrees latitude. That is very far north. If you go past 60-degree latitude in North America, you are in the absolute cold. And it's very different in Scandinavia, of course. And also the days are getting very long now. It's, I think you said, about 7 minutes per day, right?
Yes. And since Christmas, the days have been 8 hours longer. So when we come to May and June, it will be light all day and all night.
Well, that's one.
So you can see the eagles.
Well,
every
let's
time.
okay. Let me just put the banner away so they can see you. So let's talk a little bit about the area where the nest is. So can you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Yes, Smøla is an island around 270 square kilometers. There are living around 2,160 people there. And the island, the main island, is surrounded by 6,000 islets and small islands. And it's perfect for eagles because they have a lot of food in the sea, a lot of fish and a lot of birds. It's a very rich wildlife in Smøla. And it's very special, the island, because it's a flat island. It's no mountains there. The highest place is 60 meters high over the sea.
So this is not the way people would think of Norway with all the fjords and so on. It's very different, right?
Yeah, but it's perfect for kayaking, for example, and it's perfect for eagles because there are hunting areas.
And Svein, you also mentioned you have a cabin there, actually, so you know the area very well.
Yeah, I have a cabin on the southwest part of Smøla, and we can sit there. There are in this area, those 270 square kilometers. There are around 50 pair of eagles who are having nests there, who are active in producing chicks, and that's the densest eagle population in the world. Nowhere else there are so many eagles in a so small area.
I think that...
and when I sit and there are eagles there, and I can sit and have breakfast, and outside the kitchen window there are flying eagles 5 meters from the windows. They are very shy, but they also come very close. And some years ago there was a lot of eagles around 100 meters from my cabin, and when after some weeks I went there, and there was a dead deer laying there, and they were eating from it. Yes. Here he is the real expert, Espen Vidal. He is living in Smøla, and he has been studying eagles, and had his doctoral degrees in studying eagles. So he is very, very good in knowing all about eagles, and we have been working together with this nest. When we installed it, he picked the nest because we was out of after eagles who were stable and who had only one nest, because eagles in Smøla, they have 2 or 3 nests and they change every year. So we wanted to have one nest, one pair of eagles that had only one nest, and we would like to also show the view, the sea and the surroundings. We wanted to have it,
Svein,
beautiful to look at.
Svein, this is of course very interesting for us here as viewers, because usually, at least in North America, they only come to nests in an emergency, and I think this chick is about maybe 5 weeks old. So how is it possible for an expert biologist to come in without disturbing the parents? How does it work?
Okay. The parents are nearby when we go in, but we only go in once, and then we go in when there is not dangerous for the chicks. They can stay without their parents. But if the eagles will be disturbed when they are having eggs, or the chicks are very small, and it's cold outside, then it's really dangerous. But here is taking DNA tests for the Norwegian Institute for Nature Research. We don't mark them with rings anymore because they take DNA tests of them. So they some small feathers and send them to Trondheim for registration. And yeah, so this is a part of a program, and they are using S-band, and we of course live broadcast it. So we didn't go up there last year, but we did it the 2 years before, in 2015 and 16.
Okay, well, Svein, there are a lot of questions coming in. I'm going to start now. Number one, okay. Osprey Mama already tells you the name. She is very fond of ospreys. Do they have to fight to keep territory? We were discussing this.
Yeah, right? Yeah. They really protect their territory. Most of the eagles in Smøla, they have one territory. They both have their nest in, and they hunt, and they really are fighting. And most of the death of male eagles is accused by territorial fights. And the oldest eagle we had was nearly 30 years. He was 29 years old, was called Svein, and he was killed in a fight. And then his partner came with another young eagle, but she soon found another one and settled down, and she has another one. They are faithful all their lives, but when one dies, they find another one.
Yes, I think that, Svein, that's very similar to what we observe here. And just in case it's not clear, so what Svein was saying is that the main fatalities of eagles come through their territorial fights, which is quite stunning. So let's take question number 2 from Pascal Ragon. Hi, Svein. Is it common for white-tailed eaglets to stay 9.5 months like Solo did? So they know about Solo, stayed so long.
Okay. Me too thought it was a long time, but they stay around the nest until December or sometimes January, and then they seek out. And that's very interesting, because we have had radio senders on some of the eagles, and we see that they are flying after the first summer. They are flying north, very, very long distance to the northern part of Norway, and then they come back again. And every year they do like this, back and forth, until they are grown up and find a partner and settle down and find their own territory.
Okay, good. And now the questions are just pouring in. Let's try and keep up, which is good. Janet.
Come on.
Here's Janet Adams. Janet asks, what is the size difference, and this is an interesting one, between the white-tailed eagle and a bald eagle that we know here?
Okay. I really don't know so much about the but in Norway we have another eagle called the king eagle, and that's more like a hunter, and he's smaller than the sea eagle or ocean eagle as we call it, but the white-tailed. So the white-tailed eagle in Norway is the big here in Norway, but I really don't know much about the bald eagle in the USA.
Okay, thank you. Well, there's a lot of interest here on the DNA. So Nina is asking DNA test from feathers. She's all surprised you get it from the feathers, and Christy has the same. So what do you learn from the DNA that you collect?
I don't learn so very much, but I know the people in the institute they have a register over I think they have pairs in Smola who they are studying, and when, for example, we find an eagle who is dead, we put out a feather and send it to Nina, as we call it, in Trondheim, and then they will find out which eagle it is. And we can also see if it's a boy or a girl out of the feather of the DNA. But I'm not a DNA expert, but I've been there and seen how they get information from a feather.
Right, and now, Svein, comes a question from Lady Hawk, who you know very well. Which nest? Yes. Yeah. Well, she asks, and this is a good one because you mentioned there are so many nests. Which nests will the biologists go to determine the gender in Smøla? How do you determine which nests to be entered? So how do you decide that?
Okay, which nest Espen is going into
to determine the
analyze
yes.
Yeah. Because when he usually when he walks into a nest, he also take the weight of the eagles, and he also the length of the clothes and what you call it, the nab. But you see, some nests are very difficult to go to find, or we know all the nests where they are, but someone is very far out in the sea, in a very small islet. So I think it's because of they have just decided that they follow this and this eagle. But that decision, I think, is between Espen and Nina.
Very good.
Also the Norwegian Institute.
Very good.
Yeah.
And let's see, where are we? I'm getting so many questions here. I have to catch up now. So, question number 5. Diana Lambertson would like to know. Yeah, we have a lot of questions still. So, have you noticed an increase in the aggressiveness of subadults who are not in the breeding age? So, what she's asking is, the juveniles, the young ones, are usually more aggressive than the old ones. Is this something you can see too, than the adults?
Yeah, they are. Yes, I've seen that. We have also some places where we hide and put out some dead otsel, as we call it in Norway, and we take photos. And yes, they are aggressive. That's correct.
Good.
But if the grown-ups really take back, then they have no chance.
Okay, so the parents
so
still
they
rule.
don't have to. But they are very afraid of getting hurt, and especially the what you call it, the nab.
Beak, the beak.
The beak, yeah, the beak, yeah. So.
Okay, so that is clear. So another question now. They are really fascinated by the DNA. So Jan Lester is asking, does the DNA come from the keratin in the wings? I don't know if you know that. I wouldn't know either.
No, it's in the when you nap it out. It's in the lower part. It's in the, here is the feather. Oh, it's pity I didn't bring any feathers now. But it's in the lower part. So yeah.
Okay,
but I can send I can of Baron Blue if you mail me your address, Christian.
Okay, I will do that. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
really.
and then you can have a competition on your show, and you can have it like you can give it away.
What a wonderful.
Send you some flowers,
did you hear?
some feathers.
So there you go. That's a wonderful idea. Svein, I will communicate. I'm not going to forget that. People will love this. Okay, thank you. So let's go on with the next questions here. Question number 7. This is interesting. Kathy Adams again. No, not again.
Kathy.
Sorry, the other one was Kathy. Kathy sends a lot of material to us. Thank you, Kathy. If it's light out all day and night, how does it affect the eagles? Well, what a great question.
They are sitting on the branch and looking at the sunset. No, they are. I really think they like it. But I don't know. But it looks like I have seen them sitting on some branches or on an islet top, and and when it's very nice weather, go together and fly very high on the warmth air.
But isn't
we also see okay.
No, isn't that just amazing? Imagine it. This is something people cannot imagine here, that you can go out at midnight and it's not full moon or so, and you can actually see eagles. Isn't it amazing?
Some months ago, it was a whale, a dead whale, who was coming, flowing in, no, not flowing, but coming in to Smøla and stranded there, a dead one. And we counted more than 40 in a month.
Right, sorry, I think our internet broke down for a second. So you said some whales came in. Sorry, let's go again. For some reason we didn't get that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, it was only in winter. It was a dead whale who was stranded in Smøla. And the eagles were eating him. We counted a lot of eagles. I think it was more than 40 eagles at one time around the whale.
Oh my God! You see, this is what makes this so interesting. Thank you. Let's go to question number 8 from Diana Lambertson. Why would a young, healthy female eagle who has had successful clutches not lay any eggs? Is this normal?
It's normal. They have a break sometimes, eagles. They don't lay eggs every year. Some do, but some don't. They have a break for a reason. I don't know, but see it in Smøla. But sometimes they don't get any chicks. But next year it can be 2.
Okay, good. And next question. We're catching up slowly. Question number 9. Waterbug85 asks, are all the pictures that are being shown from Norway, or is it mixed with US and Canada? Well, I can assure you this is only from only from Norway. All the pictures are from Norway. So if it looks like it, Waterbug85, so it is because some eagles look like our juveniles. So this is definitely, they do not have any bald eagles in Norway. This is all pictures completely from Norway. Okay, so I could answer that. Okay, question number 8 from AHE9, Svein, he hates to ask, but do you have lead poisoning problem in Norway? That's a great question. Do you have lead poisoning, from guns, from bullets? Do the eagles get poisoned because, hunters and so on? Could you please comment on that?
Yes, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So we see it in eagles who are on the top of who are eating birds and fish and everything. So that's a problem, yes.
So, this is really an interesting question. I just wanted to follow up on this, on the lead poisoning. By the way, I just wanted to mention probably next week, if the American Eagle Foundation has time, we will go into the topic of lead poisoning, which is a big topic. But I'm surprised, Svein, because I know that from having lived in Scandinavia, that they are very careful. So why do they not ban lead in Scandinavia? Because I understand that they don't do it in North America, but I'm surprised it doesn't happen in Scandinavia. So.
Yes, I agree in that. It's strange.
Okay, that's just a comment, but it's a great question. Here comes Mark Horner. Mark Horner, by the way, is also a very good filmmaker. He has helped me with a lot of films. Mark Horner said, could you please ask what camera equipment you are using? Please go ahead.
Yeah, we are using different sorts of cameras, but it's web cameras. The one who is placed by the Baron Blue, but it's different types. We have a little bit problem with we have to restart it, and I'm going to change it now. That's the main cam, and then we have some small lenses placed, and the camera. Yes, it's on the ground, but only the lenses are up, so it's small. But it's web camera. But on the island of Baron Blue, we had a huge cable to get electricity there, and we also have we used radio link first, but we now have fiber, so we can send 200 megabit per second. So it's we can send from a lot of cameras, and we are going to install more cameras there, I think.
200 megabit, that is very fast, Svein. That's interesting information. That's incredible.
We are joking about it's the fastest internet.
Well, maybe on that, I just have a technical question, because you said some of the eagles have a transmitter on the back. Can you explain a little bit how many there are and how that works?
It's NINA. It's the institute, the Norwegian Institute in Trondheim, who are doing studies with the eagles. Especially those, we have wind turbines in Smøla, and that kills 4 or 5 eagles each year. And it's a part of that study. They are installing radio transmitters on chick eagles to see how they act in the park, in the windmill park, and where they go. And the results of that study is that we know where we can see it on the map where they are, and we see the first year they are around the territory of their parents, but are in summer they are going really far away. So it's part of a study. And after a couple of years, it will fall off. It's made so that it fell off and won't be to any trouble for the eagles.
Okay, thank you, Svein. Now comes a you see this beautiful picture here. Thank you again to Lady Hawk here. This is from Jeppe and Nille. And we were talking about Jeppe and Nille earlier when I was talking to you. And I think our listeners or viewers will have, very few will guess where the names come from. Can you tell them a little bit what the origin of Jeppe and Nille is?
It's a Danish, Norwegian writer who is called Ludvig Holberg, and he wrote a play called Jeppe, and it was about Jeppe, who was drinking, and he had a wife called Nille, and she was banging him, and they made some joke of him. And one day when he had fell asleep, they took him to the Baron and put him in the Baron's bed, and then bed. And when he wake up, he thought he was dead, and he wake up in the Baron's bed. And Jeppe and Nille, they are in the Baron's nest, and that's the name.
So that's a
it was one of our viewers who came up with it. We had a competition. So it was a lady called who came up with the name.
Well, that's fantastic. I think there you get some incredible information. So here comes some more question. This is an interesting one.
Before you
go on. Yeah.
You take that question. I think we know Baron Blå. He was hatched in 2004, and it was Espen who put on his 2 blue rings, and that's why we call him Baron Blue. And he came back in 2012. Then he was grown up and had found a partner and settled down in this old nest, who has been empty since the 90s. It was an old eagle nest, and took over the nest and has been there since. And they have got chicks who has survived every year. First years, 1 and 2 chicks. So he is from 2004. But his parents, they are still producing kids. They are called Sverre and Svanhild, and 2 years ago they got two chicks. Not last year, but they are still, and they have three nests. Okay. Next.
Okay, now we have a lot of questions again, so let's try and catch up. Here comes a good one from Diana Lambersondo. Do you have golden eagles in Norway? Golden eagles, which we have here.
No.
No, I don't think so either.
Not. I hear the name. We have fish eagles, and we have king eagles, and we have the largest one, the white-tailed eagle.
White-tailed. So that answers the question. Okay, yeah. Then Melissa Abbott is asking, this is a great question. Are residents of the islands or tourists allowed to go close to the nests, or do they have to, like in North America, keep a certain distance to the nest? How does it work?
Yeah. I'm surprised, really. There are few who are living in Smøla who knows where the nests are, because the eagles, they don't build nests where there are houses and stuff like that. But you can imagine it's 6,000 around the big Smøla, and it's a lot of Smøla who is very where there is no people, no roads. So the eagles, they settle down on places where there are no not usually people around. But of course, they are. It's not allowed to disturb the eagles, and it's not allowed to disturb them by the nests when they are having eggs and hatching and having kids.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
So they respect it, and here is two questions which relate to the topic.
But it has been some of the farmers in Smøla who have households, lambs, and there has been a discussion if seagulls take lamb, but the conclusion is that they don't take lamb who are fresh and in well condition, but they take, of course, dead lambs and maybe sick lambs. So I don't think it's today. There was a discussion some years ago about it, but I don't think it's they see it as a problem.
Okay, good. Well, that's a good answer. So there seems to be good communication and harmony between the people on the island, the tourists, and the birds. So here's another. So. Yeah, here's another question. That's more to with Baron and Baroness, and it's both from Pascal Ragon. By the way, Pascal Ragon, thank you very much for the donation, and also the same to Lady Hawk. Thank you very much for the donation. And the same goes. Of course, to Osprey Mama, thank you, you three of you. That is really kind. I just wanted to see the question from Pascal. How old are Baron and Baroness? So the age of Baron, the Baron we know, but Lady Hawk also asks, so do we know how old the Baroness is? And how old is the Baron?
No, okay. we know nothing about her. No, we don't know. We don't know where he has found her, where he met her. We don't know. He was there in 2012 with her and settled down there. We don't know. She's not marked, and but I don't think she's from Smøla either. But I don't know. I really don't know. So.
But Baron, you know, the Baron, you know.
Yeah, he's from 2004. Yes. And the nest where he grew up in, it's about 10 kilometers. His nest. So he has settled down really close to his parents.
Very good. So he settled out. So he came right back into the territory. Oh, here's some more questions. Oh my goodness.
Not the territory. He has his own territory.
He has his own territory.
But the same area, same part of Smøla, you can say.
Here comes an interesting question. This is about Norway itself from Wobbies. Does Norway recognize the white-tailed eagle as its national bird? That's an interesting question.
That was difficult. No, I don't think so. I can't answer that.
Okay, that's fine. We can. Don't worry. It's.
I should know that, but not the eagle. No.
Okay. Then Diana Lambertson again. Is fish the main diet for white-tailed eagles? Yes,
it is. That was one of my questions. Yes, they eat fish, and they catch fish. Really big fish came in with cod and other sorts of fish, and but there are, Smøla is a flat island, and there is groundwater, so they can many places, and they can catch the fish there. Yeah, that's the main diet. But they also eat dead animals and birds, of course. Ducks and grey goose. There are a lot of grey goose in Smøla, and they take, and especially the chicks of goose and ducks and herons and
That sounds very similar to the behavior of the bald eagle, what you're describing there. So here comes another question. This is actually a great question here from Waterbug85 again. Here, look at this. Are the farmers allowed to use poison? So any poison for pest and rodent control? So what Waterbug85, they are not, huh? No, not allowed?
No, not that I know. No, they don't use that on Smøla. They use no, I don't think so.
Okay, and now another question from Alice Witt here, coming right. Hi, Alice. Going right back to lead poisoning. Is there actually a law in Norway, a law that tells you something of the use of lead poisoning, or is it not under discussion?
I don't know. I can't answer it. Okay.
Those are difficult and very good questions, my friend. I really like it. So this is, a lot of these we may have to go back and dig deeper. But thank you for all the questions. They are really good questions. You know what? Let's move on now. Let's take no more questions. What I would like to do is the fun part. Let's do a quiz now. Okay? I'd like to do a quiz, and let me just give me 1 minute to set up my quiz, the telephone, and everything. So what I would like to do now is start the quiz. So Svein will ask a question and it'll be your chance to call in now. So I'm just going to put the number in. Let's see if I manage that. Yes, there is the number. And so let me just get everything prepared here. Just give me a second. Okay, so off we go. We might have an echo again, a little bit of an echo, because we had that last time, but let's try again. So here is your number to call in. So Svein, would you please give your first question to our listeners to win some pictures? Go ahead, please.
Yes. Who is the largest, the male or the female eagle?
Oh my goodness, if you can't answer this one, then, okay, here you go. Come on, start ringing. He's very nice. He's here. It's nearly, it's getting close to 2 o'clock. So I think he's trying to keep away with a very easy question for you. Okay, we'll get them going and then we hope, let's hear if we get some questions and see how it goes. Svein, you won't be able to hear the people when they call in, but I will repeat what they say. Okay, so that's the way it'll go. So we'll just be waiting. So call in, please. Oh, they're laughing at the questions here. This is too easy, but that's okay. That's okay. He's being.
But what is the weight? What is the weight then?
Oh, so what is the weight? He says.
The largest one.
Okay, so what is the weight of the largest one? So he's saying, okay, if you think this is too easy, then what is the weight of the largest one, approximately? So here you go.
Approximately.
Okay, here comes a caller. So I'm going to take this now. Okay, let's just see if I can take this. Hello? Oh, that happens every time. Hang on. It'll come in again. I don't know why. Every time I answer the first time, it doesn't seem to work. So we're going to try this again. Just wait for the person to come phone in again. Okay, so call in again. Something went wrong there. I apologize. Not sure. It usually happens with the first one, and I don't know why. So do call in again. Either everybody knows and nobody wants to phone, or nobody knows the answer. So we'll wait. Sorry about that. Maybe something is wrong with the phone system. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. Which is a pity, but here comes a caller. Okay, Let me try again. Hello? Hello? Let's try. Okay. Still. Hello? Hello? Oh, hello. Hi, here's Christian. Hi, with whom am I speaking, please? Regina, so you are known as Woody from the Pennsylvania nest. Oh, sorry, the Hayes nest. From the Hayes Eagle nest. Well, that's wonderful. You have very nice to have you here. Thank you for joining. So now this very difficult question: what is bigger, the male or the female? So what? Yes, so she's saying very clearly, Svein, I'm just passing this on. She's saying it's the female, but by at least 25% more weight. So that is her answer.
That's correct. That's correct. And up to 7 kilos. Norwegian, also.
Yes,
kilograms.
Up to 7 kilos. Yes, so you got that absolutely right. So the female is a lot larger. Well, we're going to afterwards spin the wheel. So do hang on, and thank you so much. Thank you for calling, and don't forget you'll win a picture. Thank you so much. Okay, well, thanks for joining. Okay, so we'll take some more calls, and the questions are going to be slightly... Okay, thank you. So do hang on. Let's wait for some more calls. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Fine. Bye. Okay, so that was the first... And here comes the second person. Here we go. Let me try and answer here. Hello? Hello? Hello, with whom am I speaking, please? Hello, Anne Williamson. So we have Svein also smiling all the way to Norway. Well, thank you for joining. That is wonderful. So Svein, please go ahead and ask a question. Question number 2 to Anne, please.
Okay. How many eggs do the Norwegian white-tailed eagles lay?
Sorry, how much? Okay, no, come on again. Sorry, Svein, repeat the question, please.
Yeah, how many eggs do they lay, the white-tailed eagles?
Okay, so, Anne, the question is, how many eggs do they typically lay? How many eggs do they typically lay, the white-tailed eagles? Do you have any idea? The answer is 2 or 3. What do you say, Svein? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes,
he says it's correct.
Usually, but in Smøla, very seldom 3 eggs.
Very seldom 3 eggs. It's usually 2. You are absolutely right, Anne.
Last.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Anne. That was perfect. So you want a picture? Well, you're going to win a picture, so please hang on. We're going to run the wheel later. So thank you, Anne, for joining, and have a nice evening and a nice weekend. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, fine. Bye. Okay, we'll take one more caller, please. It's going to be another question for one more call. And here we go. Here we go. Hello, with whom am I speaking, please? Hello? Oh, I don't know what happened there. Hello? Hello? Hello, with whom am I speaking, please? Sydney 62. Hello, welcome. And Svein is saying hello to you too. So welcome.
Hello.
So where are you calling from, Sydney? Where are you calling from? Illinois. You're calling from Illinois. Okay, so here comes your... Okay. Oh, Svein, I'm supposed to tell you that Sydney 62 is half Norwegian. There you go. Okay, he says. he's delighted. So
a lot of in the USA.
Oh yes, he says there are a lot in the States. So, Svein, can you
Yes.
please ask the question and I will repeat it then? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. How many days do they lay on the eggs, and how many weeks are the chicks in the nest?
Okay, sorry. I by the way, I apologize. I just saw that they can't hear the callers. I apologize for that. I just forgot to switch. You should be able to hear Sydney 62 now. So sorry, Svein. Come again with the question. So come again. I just
Yes.
heard, yeah.
How many days are there eggs in the nest? of
How
the
many
eagles?
days are the?
Yes, and how many weeks are the chicks in the nest before they
Okay,
leave?
before they hatch. How many days are the chicks in the nest before they hatch? So I apologize again for the audio error. That was my fault, but I hope you can hear. Okay, go ahead, please. She's saying 35 is average. She's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's-
38, I think here, but
Yeah,
35 is,
but you're
is
fine.
good. Yeah.
You're fine with that, Sydney. That's a great answer. And what was the other question? You had one more, but anyway, you
The
won
other
already.
question was how many weeks are the chicks in the nest before they leave?
Ah, so this is for Fledge. How many weeks are the chicks in the nest before they fledge, before they leave or fledge?
Fledge, yes, okay.
So she's saying 80 days on average, which I believe is correct. Is that right, Svein?
Yeah.
You are very knowledgeable. You are spot on. Well done. And again, sorry that I forgot to switch. That I forgot to switch the audio through earlier. So I just saw that. But anyway, it's wonderful to have you on the show. So you are the third winner. So no more calls, please. We're going to spin the wheel now. And thank you so much for taking part. Okay, thanks. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Fine. Bye.
She was an expert.
Yeah, she was absolutely an expert. So 1 second, I'm just going to switch the audio back here. Let's see. I hope I got this correct. Anyway, so anyway, there were 3 callers. I apologize if not everything came through. I have all my hands here to do, full to do, but I think it's fine. So Svein, what we're going to do now is we're going to turn this wheel, which is. Let me see if I can get this right. Yes, it's right here. So,
I see it.
We had 3 callers. So what I'm going to just put the number away. So no more callers, please. So I'm going to spin this now, and you just say stop. Okay, whenever you wish. Okay.
Stop.
Oops! Oh, that was a complete stop. You know what? I crashed it. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try again. Sorry about that. I need to. Okay, go ahead, please.
Stop.
Okay, that's beautiful. So this is for the first person. This is picture number 2. This is an Alaskan eagle, and you are winning this picture. Congratulations. So that's the picture number 2 for the first caller. Now we continue. So again, Svein, please.
Stop.
Oh my goodness. Here is the 3-dimensional talent picture that I took with two overlaid pictures to give a stacking here. So there you go. That's picture number 22. Congratulations to the second caller. I think that was Anne. But I apologize again about the audio. Now here we go again. Here comes the third one. Okay, say stop, please.
Stop.
Okay, that is a beautiful picture from Port Hardy, taken against the sun, an eagle there. So congratulations to the third caller. So I would just like to ask kindly for those who have won to please send an email in case our team didn't catch that because they may not have heard it. So do send an email to info@sassemedia.com just with the winning picture and so on. I think we've noted them, or go into the chat and just give your, just say who you are, but do send your email address and we will happily respond. Okay, well, wonderful. Well, Svein, thank you so much for being on the show. You have been absolutely magnificent, keeping up. It's nearly 2:00.
Yeah. It's nice to be here. Yeah, it's interesting and very nice. Good show you have.
Well, thank you so much.
Program.
It's been an absolute honor, and I wanted to say to all our viewers, thank you so much for being on this show. It's really been an absolute pleasure. I just quickly wanted to blend in. This is the goodbye. Say thank you to all of us for joining us tonight. That is done again by Nicole, really beautiful. So we will try next week and actually address the question of lead poisoning. I hope I got that right. And I hope you enjoyed this. This is really, this makes me feel incredible that we have got a line all the way to Norway and we are able to, for the first time, to jump the continents and to bring in such incredible people like yourselves who are looking after the camera, are so dedicated to nature. So Svein, thank you so much for being on the show. And
thank you.
On that note, I want to wish everyone a happy weekend. And don't forget, on Monday, I'll be back for very quick Eagle News at 9 a.m. Pacific time and noon Eastern time. And if you do want to, just send in any news that you know. Thank you for all the support of everyone, and good night.